But the life insurance, now, depending on what kind of policy you have, that can dictate what you're going to be doing.
Okay.
There's 2 types overall. You have term and you have whole life. All right. Now, term, I like to compare it like renting an apartment. You enjoy the luxuries of the apartment while you're there, right?
But it's not forever.
But it's not. Your landlord could kick you out and raise the rent on you.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can't be like, yo, landlord, I've been paying rent for like 15 years. Let me get some equity out of there.
It's like it's clipped because you don't really own.
You don't own it.
Okay.
Right? And it also just lasts a time. So just like your lease lasts 2-5 years, term policies last 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And when they're done, guess what happens? If you're 10, 15, 20, 30 years older, it's going to be more expensive if you had to get a new one.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's a term policy. There are multiple types of term policies, but that's the overall general definition of a term policy. Now, a whole life policy, you can compare that to like owning a house. When somebody owns a house, you can pay off a house.
Yeah.
You can borrow equity from your house. You have cash. You have things that you have with a house that you don't have with an apartment.
Exactly. Because you don't own the apartment.
Because you don't own it. It is more expensive though.
So in what cases would somebody get a term life policy? If a term life is not for my whole entire life and it's shorter and it doesn't seem ideal,
That's a valid question.
Why would I get that?
I'm about to give you the most valid answer. Most people, my recommendation is if somebody gets a term policy, is because you have young children. Because you can get more, you can get more insurance for less. So I can get $1 million for maybe $80 for 30 years. Now, if I have a child now, in 30 years, my kid is still technically depending on me. So God forbid I was to pass away when they're still depending on me. There's an extra in my insurance. I have an extra $1 million and I'm not paying a whole bunch of money for that.
Okay. So I guess my question to that would be, if I'm 21 right now.
Yes.
Not having no kids. But let's say I was to have a kid.
Yep.
It would make sense for me to get term right now. Because
if you can afford it. So a lot of people, they jump to whole life, but not everybody can afford $1 million whole life policy.
But I was always under the assumption, and I haven't done too much research, but I have been looking into it. To get a whole life policy, it wouldn't be too pricey for me because I'm not like a at risk type of person.
Well, you're not at risk and you're super young.
Yes.
And that's why I'm saying it depends on your budget.
So okay, so ideally, like how much would it cost me to get life insurance?
It depends.
But what, like if you did throw out an estimate, would it be
all right? So I'll tell you
a whole life versus a term.
Depends on the type of policy. So it depends on what you want out of the policy as well. Do you want dividends? Are you getting an IUL? It depends on the type of policy that you're getting and what you want that policy to do. Because remember, it's a tool.
Okay.
So I can go to the store and buy a hammer. I could buy a cheap hammer. I could buy a more luxurious hammer. The hammer's still gonna smash.
Yeah.
But what's the experience while you're smashing?
Okay.
That sounds wild, right?
Yeah. That sounded crazy. That sounded crazy.
I teach middle school kids. I gotta
crazy. But okay. So I guess if I wanted like whole life insurance and I wanted, I guess dividends because I wanted to grow because I have time. If I want,
it could cost you $10,000 a year.
$10,000 a year, and I'm paying monthly.
Nah, I said 10,000. No. When you get your life insurance, to be honest, my tip for anybody, if you're getting a life insurance policy, pay annually. Pay once a year. You pay less fees and your cash flow grows faster.
So I gotta come out of pocket 10 bands.
That's why I said it depends on your budget. You see?
That's beastie.
It could be 10,000 a year. I'm not saying that. I don't remember. Yeah. I could be honest. The last person I did a policy for was $300,000. He was 24. If I remember, I think his amount was like $180. That's not bad. No.
And like, that's a month.
Yeah, it was per month. He ended up doing the yearly option, which was great for him as well. I want to say it was like $220 a month, something like that.
Them commercials be lying because I've been seeing commercials.
They're talking
that be like
about
99 cents.
They're talking about term policies. That's why.
Okay.
What's good, y'all? Are y'all having a hard time starting conversations in large rooms? Do you need to find more effective ways to draw attention to yourself without wearing a fancy outfit? I figured out a hack. You need some Financial Revolution merch. Everything is a staple piece that represents Black wealth. You are what you wear, so make sure you join the rest of the billionaires and get some FR merch. We have hoodies, sweatsuits, t-shirts, and much more. Make sure you visit www.financialrevolutionn.com and use code podcast for a special 10% off. Again, go to www.financialrevolutionn.com and use code podcast for a special 10% off. Let's get it, y'all.
They're not lying. They're just misleading.
Yeah, like I'm hearing the commercials. Get life insurance today for 99 cents.
They're talking about
$1.99.
term policy. You know why? Because there's no cash flow building up in that.
Because
95% of term policies do not pay out because people it either lapses or you outlive it.
Yeah, I was speaking to this lady. I met this lady. Were you at InvestFest?
Yes, I was.
Oh, wow. We didn't even see each other, but yeah.
I didn't see a lot of people at InvestFest.
But yeah, so I ran into this lady at InvestFest and we were talking. She was a little older. She maybe in her like 60s or 65. Like she just hit the senior citizen age. And
she's seasoned.
Yeah.
Calling her those senior citizens. They're kind of crazy.
No,
I got your back. Yeah.
But I'm sorry, but that's
old lady,
that's what she referred to me as.
Old lady, I got your back.
But basically she was telling me, she was like, get life insurance, but like if it's anything I want to tell you, like don't get term life insurance. She was saying that she got term life insurance and
she didn't realize that her policy lapsed.
Expired. And she
had nothing.
She didn't get none of that money, and she was pissed because she was like, "I've been paying all this money, all these months, all these years, like," and she got nothing, and that scarred me. I'm gonna be honest.
So that's why you have to know what you have. A lot of people don't know what they have.
What do you mean by like that? Like their policy?
They buy a policy. They say they have insurance, and that's what they got. I go, "What you got insurance?" I got insurance, and then they don't want to talk about it again. You know why? Because I got insurance.
But I don't know. I just feel like, and I just me speaking, like I feel like it's a little questionable that they require us to have car insurance, but it's not mandatory for us to have life insurance.
So I'm gonna keep
and it's just like there's a 100% chance that people are gonna die, but there's not a 100% chance that people are gonna get into car accidents.
So I'm not defending the powers that be. However, a car insurance protects the banks. It protects liability for institutions. Life insurance protects who?
Us as a person.
You as a person.
Yeah.
They don't care about you.
Yeah. And
let's keep it a buck.
And I was watching
if
video.
God forbid something happened and somebody passes,
that don't got nothing to do with it.
That had nothing to
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
They gonna go after your loved ones if you have financial debt tied to anything else. More than likely you have mortgage insurance. So the things that are tied financially to things are already covered.
Yeah.
But they wanted you to protect. You gotta have home insurance, or unless your home.
Yeah, you have insurance on all assets.
Everything else,
kind of like things that's
tied exactly. But for you, it's your choice. If you choose not to protect your life, that's your business.
Yeah.
And God forbid something happen, you think somebody gonna take a loan out to go take care of your No.
And I feel like that's really like one of the reasons that I feel like I need life insurance, for the simple fact that I always feel like the things that aren't like easy to understand, the things that aren't like easily given to us, those are usually the things that we really need and that the wealthy people are doing. Like something as simple as like us not learning about politics, financial literacy, nutrition, and all those things in school. Those are all the core things that we need.
Yeah.
And like I just kind of hit an epiphany in life where I was just like, let me focus on all the stuff that I don't learn, all the stuff that like isn't given to me, or I'm not required to have, because that's the stuff that like the wealthy really up there doing. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
So yeah. I don't know, like I just feel like sometimes it's all a scam. Like it's
not
like,
the scam
like,
term though.
Like it's just real questionable. But so just to close the life insurance thing, right? So
now we gotta keep this one open.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna keep it open. But just to ask one more question about it, because this is catered towards young people. For young people, what are some resources or ways that we can look into life insurance, like to get more educated? Like, where do we start, right?
So I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. When I first started selling life insurance, I didn't know nothing about it. I took the class, I learned from the class, and then I went ahead and I got